Hey, good morning on Coffee Break with Coffee with Democrats. This is an exciting day I'll tell you what, every time I have somebody come on here who is another activist, I so enjoy those conversations because today we've got Edmond Democratic Women. Gwen Shaw is the president, and we're just thrilled to death to have Gwen. Gwen's a friend of mine too, by the way. We've met up at several events, several activities with the Democratic Party. So Gwen and I are not strangers to one another at all. I mean, so good morning, Gwen. Thanks so much for joining us on Coffee Break with Coffee with Democrats.
Good morning, Kevin. I appreciate you being here. I'm a past president of Edmond Democratic Women.
Okay.
Liz Wilson is our current president.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
But that's fine. We all
And she's
shared
a friend of,
doing a lot of things, good things together.
yeah, and she's a good friend of mine as well.
Of
But of course, she's working this time of day, so it makes it very difficult for her to join at 10 a.m. But maybe she's taking a coffee break and being able to watch this morning.
I hope so. So. And you and I were at National Convention together a few weeks ago, and that was so exciting.
Oh my gosh. Talk a little bit about that.
We still have so much enthusiasm. We just came home with so much hope and enthusiasm. It hasn't worn off yet. So
I agree. Yes. Yeah.
What an exciting thing to share. But I was one of the founding members. I was one of the 7 women around Dana Shadid's table in 2017. She had the idea to form this group in Edmond after the 2016 election, as we all know what happened in that election.
Oh, yeah.
Because we just all had an assumption that Hillary Clinton was going to be our next president. And so Dana gathered together some of her friends, and I was one of them, and said, how can we get women involved at every level of organizing and electing good Democratic progressive candidates at every level, whether it's city council, school board, state representative, all the way up to president, of course. We don't want this to happen again. Right. So we're now at 350 members, and we're one of the most organized groups, I think, in the state. We welcome everyone, not just women, not just people from Edmond, men, independents. We have some Republicans that they believe in the same things we do. They just maybe are staying Republican for a different reason, but we're still a growing organization. I was the 2nd president after Dana, so Liz is our 4th one. So we're very active and still doing a lot of things. So that's what we're doing.
Well, it's so great. I mean, to have a group of activists within a community, and we're seeing some shifts. I really believe we're seeing some shifts. We've had some really dark times in the last 10 to 20 years. And we saw a shift in 2022. We saw a shift in 2020 as well, where Trump won all 77 counties in Oklahoma, but Oklahoma County, where Edmond is, actually narrowed the gap faster than any other county in Oklahoma. So, and I think that's in large part to organizations like yours, because you really get the people out and let's speak the truth. Edmond is a very red part of Oklahoma County. And I drive up Coltrane Avenue there on the east side of Edmond, and I see that one house that stands out that just is crazy lunatic about Trump. He's got all his lunacy hanging out on the back of his fence. But, that's not representative of everybody. There's more people in Edmond who are transitioning and getting away from Trump because, again, they just don't like him. So talk to us more about your organization, what you're doing, and what's coming up. I mean, you talked about earlier that you've got some activities coming up. Don't you have one coming up here within the next day or so?
We have a meeting tonight. And I think that's very true. We're kind of the red part of Oklahoma County, and yet we feel like if we can make inroads and we can change things at the precinct level and at our state House level and Senate levels, that we can start electing some Democrats from here. But we know that we're part of the Oklahoma County that kind of holds us back from becoming blue. And so if we get more people here involved, out to vote and understanding the process, and that we've got to make a change here for there to make a change statewide, or especially Oklahoma County, we can do that. And CD5 too. So one thing that we're doing, well, first of all, we help candidates. We
Right.
only have one Democratic candidate that's running for for a position at Senate, and that's Erin Brewer on the west side. She's in Oklahoma City and Edmond, and we are strongly behind her. Plus, we endorse other candidates statewide, countywide, that are Democratic and that need our help. And we help them financially. We knock doors. We do mailings for them. We have ladies all different ages that want to help in different ways to get people elected. And even though we might not be getting a lot of people in Edmond elected because we're still trying to transition to purple, we can help other Democrats get elected and going to the Capitol. So that's one thing we do. We some of our members have a fundraiser for the House and Senate PACs. Even though we don't have any House and Senate members that are Democrats in Edmond, we support all those Democratic candidates and all the Democratic representatives and senators in the Capitol. So we have a meeting tonight. And what we're doing tonight is we're introducing a couple more of our endorsed candidates. But one thing we decided to do as an organization a few months ago, and this is before Kamala Harris was going to be our nominee, is we decided to do a deep dive into Project 2025. We had seen a lot of information out there about it, but we didn't feel like it was really cohesive as to how it affects our members and people in Oklahoma.
Right.
We weren't sure that people really understood that's already here in Oklahoma, that the Heritage Foundation and other conservative leaders, the Republican Party, are using Oklahoma kind of as a guinea pig in a lot of those issues. Those being things like taking taxpayer dollars and using them for vouchers, taxpayer dollars to go to private schools, turning down federal funds to help feed children, reproductive rights, are several of the things that are in Project 2025 that is the mandate for the Republican Party if the Republicans get elected as president, to lead our country. And so before Kamala was our nominee, several of us got together and said, how can we get Democrats out to vote? How can we make sure they realize this is an important election, even though we don't have a lot of candidates that are running here in Edmond? And that was to educate our members and the community and other Democratic organizations about 2025 and Project 2025 and how dangerous it is for our state, but even more so for our country. That if we don't start electing Democrats at all levels, if we don't elect a Democratic president, that these things will go into effect, just like they have with each Republican administration since 1980. A few weeks ago, I thought, why is Project 2025 so public? I would think they would want to keep this underground until after the election as to what the plans were. And then I found out that the Heritage Foundation has been doing this mandate and report since before 1980, and that Reagan enacted 60% of what was in that report in 1980 to make a lot of changes that we're still living with. So I am heading up a committee of writers and researchers, marketing people in our club that are doing every day between now and the election. We are highlighting an area of Project 2025 that is going to be affecting us or people we know. And you can go on our, you've got right there our website, and there's an area of Project 2025. We've already covered education, Medicare and Medicaid, healthcare. We'll be doing the economy starting today. But we will be doing a lot of other topics, including veterans and immigration, separation of church and state, and white Christian nationalism, many other areas that we will be highlighting and giving more information. So tonight, we're going to be doing training at our meeting. Our meeting is for our members and guests. And so if you're interested, you can go online, join us, or say you'd like to come. And we're doing training. We're having Shannon Fleck, who is the executive director of the Oklahoma Faith Network. This is going to be talking about Project 2025 and separation of church and state, as well as white Christian nationalism.
Right.
We'll have Gina Nelson, who was a Democratic candidate or nominee against Ryan Walters 2 years ago.
Right.
She'll be speaking about education. And Stephanie Lane Hicks will be talking about women's reproductive rights. And when you think about it, all three of those areas, they've already enacted laws in Oklahoma that would be enacted nationwide if the Republicans go into power and as the president. I really don't want to say the name. Anyway, Then we'll continue that at the next meeting in another month. But what we're going to do is educate our members and others about how to talk to other people about that. Our last meeting, we had a great attendance of over 150 people. And that was after Kamala, that was after the national convention. Kendra Horn was our speaker, just full of hope and enthusiasm. So many people that had never been to an EDW meeting, Republicans, independents, people that now want to get involved and want to vote, want to get others out to vote. So it'll be an exciting meeting. It's an exciting time for us. And the way I see it is we have between now and November 5th to take advantage of this enthusiasm and hope, to educate our members, to get people out to vote. And that's really it. Get people out to vote.
And we can help that too by encouraging people. We've only got between now and October 11th to get people registered.
That's right.
October 11th in Oklahoma is the last day of registration. That is in the state of Oklahoma. In other states, please check your state and what their registration is. But in the state of Oklahoma, it's October 11th. So
what I'd like to do is put people to the Oklahoma voter portal. And that is a website where you can register to vote if you've already got a driver's license here, if you're already in the system. You can check your voter registration and make sure it hasn't expired. You can change your address. You can change your voter registration to another address. You can change from one party to another. And Kevin has put up the site for that. But that's what we like to tell people to do, is go there if they're a voter or they're a would-be voter and like to register to vote. But you're exactly right. Between now and October 11th, we need to get people registered and then get them out to vote. And because of who we have at the top of the ticket, and we have CD5 and our county sheriff and legislators, this is a opportunity for us to make a change. And what we're just hoping is that carries over into 2 years. 2 years from now, when we have people running on the statewide level and we can make a change in our statewide government and keep that enthusiasm and interest going.
You know, and that's such a wonderful, wonderful thing, that everything that you're focused on are all the important issues that we all have to focus on here in the state of Oklahoma. And it's so critical that, you know, through efforts like yours, you are spreading, you know, all of this information, all of this vital information that will help registrants have the knowledge and the necessary information they need to make a really educated vote. And that's what we want to get people to do, is stop going with, the state of Oklahoma is one of the few states that still has straight party voting. And we ask everybody to start at the bottom of the list on the voter, on the actual voter, the ballot. Start from the bottom and work your way up, because the last thing you'll see at that point is the single party vote option. But if you avoid that, go look at the actual individuals educate yourself before you vote. There's so many places here in the in the state of Oklahoma, these county officials, we've got people that are running for Oklahoma House of Representatives in the Oklahoma Senate that really are way out there. They're extremists. Let's put it this way. They are extremists to extremists. So they are the extreme, and that is something we've got to get away from. We've got to make sure that those people never have a voice. We need to put those people into the dustbins of history and put them back in the shadows, because these people are spreading things like racism. We've got some guys that are running in the state of Oklahoma that want to bring back, cockfighting and things like that are so inhumane. It's like it boggles your mind. You're like, how in the world can these people even have a voice? How can people even accept this? It's so far back in our history, but the extreme racism that we have with these people, we have to put those people back into the dustbin of history, not give them a voice in the state capitol. It's that simple. And it's through efforts like what's going on up in Edmond that we've really got to focus on. Hey, and I want to point this out. We are getting some really good feedback from people that are watching this. And I love that, because people are giving their thumbs up, giving their hearts and hugs. And I appreciate that. We really appreciate it. We're getting some good comments too. So like April says, get registered to vote. I'm going to put that up on the screen so you can see some of this feedback that we're getting. April is such a ball of fire. I'd enjoy having her participation, and she is 100% on board with what we're wanting to do. And so she's got a couple of things here that she wanted to share, and I'm going to share those as well. Women's rights are on the ballot.
Yes.
Join all of us, not just April, but join all of us, because we all think we've got to do everything we can to help women earn back their rights for bodily autonomy.
Exactly right. And so April needs to join Edmond Democratic Women, and either come tonight or watch us online or our Facebook Live about our presentation about reproductive rights. And that'll be featured, I think, next week on our website. And even if you aren't a member, you can see the posts and the other things on our website, on our public Facebook page, and on our Instagram page, and share them. And then it'll take us back to more information from our website. But we'd love to have anyone join us, men, women, Republicans, Democrats, independents, all over the state, all over the country. We have people all over the country that are members.
So I'm throwing it right back on the bottom. Let me get my fingers here. Right down here.
EdmondDemocraticWomen.org. And you can see all that we do, as well as join us and see our Project 2025 information.
Yeah, we got to put all that on there. Man, I'll tell you what, this is a great conversation. We just got started, and we're coming to an end of it, but we could keep going on for hours. I mean, Gwen, you are so wonderful. You are such a great person. It really is something that I'm going to go right now. Folks, you're going to see, I'm going to post it onto all of our websites. I'm going to take pictures of my actual registration and joining Edmond Democratic Women. Now, do I look like a woman? I don't have to.
Are you from Edmond?
No. We're supporting all people in the state of Oklahoma, and we're honoring the women of Edmond who got this started. So that's where we're a continuation of that advocacy that a few women in Edmond got this started, and we are so happy that they did.
Well, Kevin, folks, and I appreciate you joining, but I think one of the things that's best about our organization, the activism, the education is great, but it's the getting together with people that are like-minded and feeling like you can be yourself and talk. And that's hard in Edmond. I mean, it's hard sometimes to wear a t-shirt, but we're out there, we're putting signs out, we're wearing our Kamala t-shirts, there you go. And it's not been easy, but there's more of us out here than we know. And it gives us a voice, and it makes you feel at home. And like you can say and do and be with people like-minded wherever you are.
Well, thank you so much, Gwen. You're just a breath of fresh air. I just love spending time with you. I enjoyed spending time with you while we were at the convention. Again, you're just a solid person to be around, and we
Thank you,
can't
Kevin.
ask for better people in the state of Oklahoma than Gwen. So thanks so
Well,
much.
it's been my pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for everybody that came on.
Well, we're gonna sign off for now, but we have more coming every day this week. We've got a candidate coming on to Coffee with Democrats. Then we're going to give them the opportunity to promote their campaigns, and we're going to continue to do this every Monday through Friday. I do have a little break, September 27th through October 3rd. I've got to go get some wind therapy and altitude therapy in Colorado, so I'm going to be up there and won't be on Coffee with Dems during that few days. But after that, we'll be back, and we will be running hard and hitting this hard with more candidates. And we got candidates also that are going to come and join, I think, from Georgia. We've got a candidate that's I think is going to join us from Ohio. But we're really going to focus a lot on Oklahoma candidates. So we've got a lot of Oklahoma candidates that are going to be joining us between now and November 5th. So we're going to be hitting it hard, just like Edmond Democratic Women. So until tomorrow, everybody, thank you for joining Coffee Break on Coffee with Democrats. Until tomorrow, please be safe.
Thank you.